We all know the story of the Fantastic Four. A daring trip to space, a storm of cosmic rays, and the birth of Marvel's first family. It's a classic sci-fi fable for the atomic age, one we've been hearing since 1961. But what if that's only half the story? What if the cosmic rays were just the trigger, and the real blueprint for their powers, their purpose, and their very existence was drawn up thousands of years ago, hidden in the pages of ancient mythology? You think you know the origin of the Fantastic Four? Think again. The story of Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm isn't just about science gone wrong. It's about ancient patterns re-emerging in the modern world. Today, we're breaking down the 5 most compelling connections to ancient myths that seem to have laid the groundwork for the Fantastic Four long before they ever stepped on that rocket. Kicking things off at number 5, cosmic rays as a modern divine touch. The classic origin story tells us a cloud of cosmic radiation mutated the 4 heroes, granting them incredible powers. For our scientific world, that's the explanation. But if you look at it through the lens of myth, what are cosmic rays? They're powerful, mysterious, life-altering energies from the heavens. This is a direct parallel to one of the oldest ideas in mythology, mortals being granted extraordinary powers by the gods. Think about it. Greek myths are filled with mortals being transformed by the gods of Olympus. In Norse sagas, gods like Odin would bestow blessings on their favorite warriors. In countless traditions, contact with a divine artifact or a sacred place could completely rewrite a person's destiny. The cosmic rays function as the 20th century's version of that divine intervention. While the original story presents this as a tragic accident, some later comics have played with the idea that it was more than random chance, with one storyline even suggesting the rays were deliberately fired by aliens who mistook the team for invaders. This reframes the origin as less of a fluke and more of a modern creation myth, where forces from the heavens anoint champions for humanity. The rocket ship wasn't just a vehicle. It was a temple, and the cosmic rays were the gods speaking in the language of science. At the number 4 spot, we have the archetypal team on a legendary quest, before the Avengers or the X-Men. The Fantastic Four set the standard for the superhero team. But the idea of a small, specialized group of heroes teaming up for an epic journey is as old as storytelling itself. Their structure, as a team of 4 distinct adventurers, mirrors legendary groups from world mythology. The most famous parallel is with Jason and the Argonauts from Greek mythology. The Argonauts were a crew of heroes, each with unique skills, who sailed into the unknown on the ship Argo to retrieve the Golden Fleece. They faced monsters and navigated treacherous waters. Much like the Fantastic Four, explore the negative zone or travel to distant galaxies. But you can see echoes of this elsewhere. In Norse mythology, figures like Thor, Loki, and Odin would often embark on expeditions together to defend Asgard. In Chinese mythology, the 4 symbols, the Azure Dragon, Vermilion Bird, White Tiger, and Black Tortoise are for creatures who guard the cardinal directions. A team of 4, keeping the cosmos in balance. The Fantastic Four's adventures are modern heroic quests. They don't just stop bank robberies. They travel the subterranean kingdoms, confront planet eaters like Galactus, and defend humanity from total annihilation. They are our Argonauts, sailing the cosmic seas on the Fantasticar, forever pushing the boundaries of our world. Our number 3 connection gets even more specific. Each member as a modern god. If the team is a mythic archetype, then the individual members can be seen as reflections of specific gods or legendary figures. Their powers feel deeply connected to mythic roles that have existed for centuries. Let's start with the most obvious. Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, a living flame. He brings to mind fire gods from nearly every culture, like the Greek god of the forge, Hephaestus. He's impulsive and hot-headed, traits often associated with fire deities. Then you have Ben Grimm. It's a thing. His incredible strength and rocky hide make him a clear stand-in for a god of war, like the Roman Mars. But he also carries the tragedy of being trapped in a monstrous form, which is reminiscent of the golems from Jewish folklore, powerful protectors made of earth and clay, often seen as tragic figures. Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, is the team's brilliant leader. His power of elasticity, of stretching his mind and body, aligns him with figures of knowledge and invention. He's like a modern Prometheus, the Greek titan who gave knowledge to humanity. His intellect is his greatest weapon, a wizard who uses science instead of spells. And finally, Sue Storm, the invisible woman. Her ability to become unseen and project powerful. Protective force field speaks to a different kind of mythic power. She's the protector of the family, echoing goddesses like Hera, the Greek protector of family and marriage. She is the quiet, often underestimated force that holds everything together. These parallels are so strong, it's hard to see them as just a coincidence. We're about to get into our top 2, and this is where the theories get really fascinating. But before we do, if you're enjoying this look into the mythology of comics, do us a favor and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Alright, sliding into our number 2 spot is one of the most compelling theories out there, the 4 classical elements. This idea has been a fan favorite for decades, and for good reason. The powers of the Fantastic Four align almost perfectly with the 4 classical elements: earth, air, fire, and water, a concept that was foundational to ancient Greek, Roman, and many other belief systems. Johnny Storm, as the Human Torch, is obviously fire. This is the most direct link, embodying its passion, danger, and light. Ben Grimm, as the Thing, is earth. He's made of living rock, with all the strength, stability, and durability of the ground beneath us. He is the team's anchor. Sue Storm, the invisible woman, represents air. She can become as unseen as the wind, and her force fields are constructs of invisible energy. She's a quiet but constant power, just like the air we breathe. And Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, is water. This might seem like a stretch at first, but think about it. Water is fluid, adaptable, and can take any shape. Reed's stretching in his fluid-like form perfectly symbolize the nature of water. His mind is just as fluid, able to flow around any problem. While this wasn't the original stated intent of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, the theory is so popular that it has actually been referenced within the comics themselves over the years. It suggests the team is more than just a family. They're a fundamental force of nature, a perfect balance of the core components of reality. And now, for our number 1 connection, the one that recasts the Fantastic Four, not just as heroes, but as cosmic necessities. This is the myth of the 4R1. For a long time, the elemental connection was the deepest theory. But a more recent comic series, Defenders, introduced a far more mystical and profound explanation, linking the team to the very structure of the Marvel Universe. As revealed by Doctor Strange, the team members are avatars of a cosmic archetype known as the 4R1. What does that mean? It means they aren't just for separate people who got powers. They are for aspects of a single, unified cosmic principle, split into 4 bodies. Think of a prism splitting one beam of light into a rainbow. Reed, Sue, Johnny, and Ben are for manifestations of one primal force. This concept has deep roots in world religions, like in Hinduism, where the ultimate reality, Brahman, manifests as many gods who are all faces of the same divine whole. This 4R1 concept positions the Fantastic Four as a fundamental balancing force, the cosmic opposite of another archetype, the 1 is 4, which represents the Hulk and his fractured personalities. Where the Hulk is one being fractured by trauma, the Fantastic Four are one principle unified by family. Their origin wasn't an accident at all, it was an inevitability. They exist because the universe needs them to exist as a symbol of unity, family, and exploration. The origin of the Fantastic Four runs so much deeper than a simple sci-fi accident. From viewing cosmic rays as divine intervention, to seeing the team as mythic questers, to their parallels with ancient gods, their embodiment of the 4 classical elements, and finally, their potential status as the 4R1 archetype. The story of the Fantastic Four is a testament to the power of myth. It shows how ancient stories and ideas can be reborn in new forms. Blending science fiction with the timeless patterns that have shaped human storytelling for thousands of years, they are Marvel's first family, not just because they were created first, but because their story is built on the kinds of stories we've always told. What do you think? There are other mythological connections we missed? Let us know your theories in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the lore of your favorite characters. Thanks for watching.